Hi, I'm Eric Miller. I teach trumpet at Palos Verdes Music House, and today I wanted to start a series of videos that deal with audition preparation. There are a lot of different types of auditions. Auditioning for your high school band or your middle school band is one thing. Auditioning for an honor band is another thing. Auditioning for a music school, especially a top level one, is another issue. But there are some things that all auditions have in common, and probably the most common one and the most feared one is nerves. Everybody gets nervous. I do not believe for one second when somebody tells me, oh, I don't get nervous for this performance or for this audition. I'm not nervous at all. I don't believe that for a second. They're just too afraid to admit that they're nervous. If you think about all the celebrities, all the top pop stars and athletes and musicians and so forth, actors and actresses, they all admit to getting nervous for auditions, for performance. So everybody gets nervous. So know this, if you're feeling nervous, you're not alone. You're not the first one. You're not going to be the last one. I've been nervous countless times, more than I can remember. So we'll talk about in the future about how to deal with those nerves. It's true that some people get more nervous than other people, but everybody gets nervous to some degree. Okay, and one of the ways that you can combat those nerves is to be prepared. Get all the information that you need about your audition and get it as early as possible. Once you know what the music is, if there's any assigned music that you have to prepare, get it as soon as you can and start working on it immediately, even if your audition is not until 5 months from now. It's never, in my opinion, too early to start working on the music for an audition. I've heard some musicians say that, well, I don't want to get prepared too early because then I'm over prepared. That's, to me, in my opinion, again, is ridiculous. You can't be over prepared for an audition. The more prepared you are, the more confident you are about your ability to play the music, the less nervous you're going to be. And I think also what you want to do is focus on the music. It's great to have a goal. I'll have people say, well, I hope I make this band, or I want to get first chair. And that's great. It's great to have those goals, but you have to focus on what it takes to achieve those goals. And that is focusing on the music and working on it as hard as you can, practicing as hard as you can, as much as you can, constantly. And like I said, start as early as possible, and then you'll feel less nervous when you go in that room to do the actual audition. So we'll talk more in the future in more detail about some of these things. But that is obviously one of the biggest problems that people face. And a little bit of nerves to me is good because it keeps you on your toes. If you're not, if you're really relaxed, you might let your guard down and maybe miss a note you don't normally miss or anything. So a little bit of nerves is good, but too much nerves can just annihilate all your preparation. If we can't control those nerves, you might sound great in the practice studio or at home on the piece that you have to play, but then when you go and do it for real in front of the judge, then the nerves set in, and that can cause problems if you're too nervous. But we'll talk more about that in the future, and that's a way I just wanted to start with that for today, and we'll talk more next time. Until then, good luck if you got an audition coming up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.